How's it? Today is Monday, November 7th. It is cold as hell. I am going up 3 kilos from last week. Looking at 96 for my complex, first complex. Looking at 88 for my second complex. Looking at 118 for my pause front squats. Um, Not too much to say. I think I say this literally every time about the snatch push press plus overhead squat plus snatch balance. It's very not challenging. It's not going to be challenging for quite a bit of time. I think I was dealing with a little bit of some hip things. Again, it's not as bad as it was on Saturday. Saturday it was fucking awful, but um, doesn't feel super great. Whatever the case is, I was still able to do my snatch balances perfectly fine. First set, second set, and the third set I do 1+1+3, I believe. After that, I moved into my snatch, power snatch, actually. Power snatch complex, and that was a little bit anxiety inducing. 88 is getting very close to my personal best of power snatch. My best ever is 92, and I'm definitely not as strong as I used to be. I'm not as fast as I used to be, I think, in my opinion. I think my technique is a lot better than it used to be, but the two, speed and strength, do play an important role in producing force, of course, you know. So if my technique is a little bit better, but I'm weaker in everything else, then theoretically I could still have lighter lifts, if that makes sense. Here is my first set at 98. There's a girl that I've never seen at the gym today, and she's standing like, I mean, she's standing like maybe 30 feet in front of me, but she's just like right in the line of sight, and she doesn't move. Um, it's okay if she doesn't move, but there's that one point on my third set where she's just like walking around on the bench. So she's setting up for bench press, but she's just like walking around, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, please, just don't do that." You see it here. Here's my last set. Um, the push press is a lot easier than I was anticipating it to be. So here's me trying to wait for her to move, but she doesn't. And then she starts walking around at this point, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna let it go because if if I'm competing, right, then there's a good chance that somebody will do something similar, which is not a happy thought. But yeah, I'm very mad here. And then I move because Blake was finished already, so I switched over all the way to the far side, and I stayed here for the rest of the session. Doug was immediately across from me. He was probably like 50 feet away, but I always get out of the way for him, and he always gets out of the way for me, so not too much um, crossover with that. Muscle snatches here for my little warm up. Just at this point, I'm like really upset, so I'm not really thinking about my power snatches per se. And then I get into right around I think the 50 muscle snatch, my last muscle snatches, where I'm like, okay, this is going to be um, a troubling experience all overall. I end up actually making one set of the power snatch plus 3 hang snatches at 88, which is really good for me. I think when I think about how I've always framed, not always, but recently I've been framing 90 in my head, like 90 kilo snatch is a sizable snatch for me. So if I am doing, 4 reps in any variation, 2 kilos under that like that mental threshold, then I think I am getting somewhere as far as progress goes. And yeah, I even do a power snatch at 85 to as a warm up today. I don't think I normally would have done that because it's 88 is so close to it. I probably would have done like from I would 50, 60, probably go 70, probably 77, then 84, and then 88, something like that. But I didn't do that. I did 60, 70, 85, and then 88. Ooh, look at that. That was crispy. My power snatch at 60. These hang snatches are also really nice. Except that last one. That last one was a little bit sloppy, a little bit lazy. I think overall, though, I'm keeping my chest over the bar a lot better for the hang snatches. And that is very important for the heavier weights, except this one here. That one's a little bit pendulumy, swingy. That one is a little bit better. Uh, Going to 80 here, second to last warm up. This is the weight where I kind of am thinking, okay, these are going to be power snatches, but very difficult. Just did the one hang snatch for warm up. Here's my 85. This is a weight where I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can power snatch this, but that was real solid. David says, there you go. Yeah, and then hang snatch was really solid. Pretty happy with that. I failed this set here on my third hang snatch. So that power snatch is very questionable. So maybe, maybe not. But these here are, these two here are made, and then the third one I fail. A little bit out front. Bar is a little bit out front of my chest. And then I just am unable to hold on with this. This is a strap slipping, so I don't have proper grip. This is the set I do make. Power snatch for sure. The third rep on this hang snatch is very, very, very scary. The second one's also not great here. And I'm thinking, okay, I have grip on the bar here, so at least I will be able to impart full force. But you see that kind of elbow bend, a little hyperextension of my elbow, and my wrist also get a little bit hyperextended. And I'm just dying there, so not a great feeling. I feel this one. I don't fail. I just give up because I'm like, all right, this is not gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna go for that second one here. I said that's it, and you know, I think I made a smart choice there. After that, I moved into my snatch high pulls. I think I talked about this last week actually, but I have to really think about where the bar is, like relative as far as height goes. Because you can get relative height if you're looking at bar in relation to your upper body. You can get relative bar height simply by bending your knees more at the top, or you can get relative bar height by pulling the bar higher, which is ultimately not relative bar height. It's like total bar height. Whatever the two are, it's not really a super discrete distinction, I think. Like total bar height. So I'm sorry. Whatever the case is, if I am able to maintain upright and pull through extension, then I am able to get more total bar height overall, and that is something that I have to practice because I'm so accustomed to immediately after extending, pulling myself under, which which requires me to pull my body down and bend my knees. So that is super important, I think, for like transferability and maximum force production, because that's what I'm just trying to do here. I could do a panda pull. That's like the ultimate of like relative bar height. I could get a ton of bar height just by dipping down if that kind of solidifies that relationship. After that, I moved into my pause front squats. 118, it was actually a lot easier than I expected it to be. I expected to struggle a lot more. I'd say that if I look at today's video versus last week's video, it's very similar in like overall perceived effort, which is great when you think about it, because I increased 3 kilos for the first complex, the second complex, the pulls, and then also the front squats. And I haven't done this in a minute, but I don't know what happened to this video. I guess I just didn't record the first set, which is really odd for me. I think I rely on this so frequently, so much that it's really crazy for me to think that I missed the recording. Maybe there was an issue with the like saving it on the GoPro. Whatever the case is, um, yeah. And here's my last set. I am like overall like I'm really happy with how today went. I think today was a good training session. I was challenged in some facets, but I was still able to produce results in others. And then after that, I moved into a hanging leg raise for my abdominal core work. I think I'm gonna start doing dragon flags, just because those used to be my favorite thing to do. And someone at the clinic was like, "Yeah, let's see it." But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.